Why have you come here? And what is it that you seek? This is not merely a question, but an echo resonating through time and the depths of your soul. The moment you stepped into this sanctuary of stillness, perhaps those dormant memories began to stir. Perhaps you seek liberation, to untangle yourself from the intricate vexations of the secular world, the entanglements of human relationships, and the fickleness of fate. Perhaps you seek tranquility, to quell the inner turbulence, the relentless drive of desire, and the primal fear of the ultimate end. Or perhaps you simply seek an answer to the ultimate enigma. Who am I? And why does the world manifest as it does? However, liberation, tranquility, the answer. Have you noticed that all these pursuits presuppose an act of grasping? It is as if, outside of your isolated life, there exists a tangible entity called liberation for you to seize, a realm called tranquility for you to enter, or a treasure called the answer for you to claim as your own. But who is this you that can grasp, enter, and possess? Is this self that you perceive as the solid, eternal center of the universe truly as real as it feels? This is the starting point of our inquiry. Under the clear observation of dependent origination and emptiness, we shall peel away the layers of this word, I, gently and thoroughly. Let us begin with the most subtle yet intimate place, your breath. One inhalation, one exhalation. You are accustomed to calling it my breath. But before this air entered your nostrils and filled your lungs, where was it? It was once a stray cloud atop the Kunlun Mountains. It was a mist over the Pacific Ocean. It was a gentle gift exhaled by millions of plants under the sun. It traversed boundless time and space to become the rise and fall of your chest in this second, and in the next, it will bid you farewell, returning to the vast firmament to become another breeze or the breath of another being. At which precise moment, then, did this breath belong absolutely to you? Look again at your physical form, which you call my body. Of what is this flesh and blood composed? It is the grains you have swallowed, the clear springs you have drunk, the genetic blueprint bestowed by your parents, and the solar energy upon which all life depends. Every inch of your skin was once the dust of the earth. Every drop of your blood was once the spray of a river. They have merely converged and reorganized temporarily to construct this form you label me. Decades from now, all of this will inevitably disassemble. Dust to dust, return to return. Is this body a private estate you eternally own, or is it a grand circulation in which you participate between the stars and the sea? We look further inward, toward the thought, regarded as the core of the self. A thought arises, I am happy. Where does this happiness come from? Perhaps it stems from a pleasant compliment. But that sentence was the product of another being's mind. It transformed into the vibration of sound waves, touched your eardrums, became electrical signals in the brain, and was finally decoded based on your past experiences and values, triggering a series of chemical reactions. In this intricate web woven by countless causes and conditions, where exactly is that pure, independent, and undisturbed my happiness? It is not a frozen entity. It is the endpoint of one event and the starting point of the next. Buddhism calls this dependent origination. This is not an abstruse philosophical concept, but the most honest description of the universe. Nothing exists in isolation. We are not fortified, solid castles. We are flowing ferries. Sounds, shadows, food, air, the emotions of others, and the currents of the era. All things manifest through us, and we exist through all things. The boundary of the self that you defend unto death has long since dissolved under the gaze of dependent origination, vanishing like smoke and mist. You think you are observing the world, but in truth, the world is observing itself through you. You think you are contemplating life, but in truth, the stream of causes and conditions is flowing into your consciousness. If dependent origination shatters boundaries, then emptiness, sunyata, utterly dismantles our final attachment to existence itself. We see a flower and feel it exists. We see a knife and feel it is solid. We see a thought and feel it is real. This sense of reality seems to be the cornerstone of our perception. Now, let us analyze the blade of that knife. Where is its sharpness? You cannot find a sample called sharpness within iron atoms or carbon molecules. Sharpness manifests only when atoms are arranged in an extremely thin manner and come into contact with another object. It is not a thing, but a relationship, a condition. It arises according to conditions and possesses no independent nature of its own. Its essence is empty. Consider your anger. When the malice of others touches your attachments and your hormone levels surge, anger burns like fire. Yet you cannot find an organ called anger in your body. It is an illusion that appears when a series of conditions converge, when the conditions disperse, and you see the emptiness of that malice and that self. The anger loses its footing and vanishes. The essence of anger is also empty, as the Heart Sutra states. Form is not different from emptiness. Emptiness is not different from form. Form represents all matter and phenomena reachable by the senses. Emptiness is the underlying logic, the lack of an independent, eternal self-nature. A wooden table seems solid, yet it is actually countless atoms vibrating at high frequencies in vast space. Its solidity is merely a relative relationship where your hand cannot penetrate it. It is precisely because the essence is empty, full of infinite possibilities, that all things can manifest according to conditions, vibrant and unceasing. Emptiness is not destruction, but the prerequisite for all things to exist. It is not a bleak void, but the fertile womb of the Dharma realm that allows everything to happen. To touch the essence of nothingness within the manifestation of being, this is the ultimate wisdom of emptiness. It does not deny your joys and sorrows, nor the colorful splendor of the world. It simply tells you gently, all of this is a grand performance, as dreamlike and illusory as it is free from the need for attachment. Having understood dependent origination and realized emptiness, how should we spend the rest of our lives? Many fall into a new attachment, the attachment to emptiness. They try to flee the world and discard desires, thinking that is true purity. But this is still choosing and rejecting, another form of ego. True practice is neither rejecting nor clinging. Zen compares the awakened mind to a clear mirror. When a red flower comes, the mirror is filled with crimson. When a green leaf comes, the mirror is filled with emerald. The mirror never resists color, nor does it retain fragrance. Flowers go and leaves come, but the essence of the mirror remains eternally pure and luminous, neither increasing nor decreasing. When happiness comes, you immerse yourself in it fully, like the mirror reflecting the flower, yet deep down you know it is the grace of conditions, and your inner self remains as unmoving as a mountain. When happiness dissipates, you let it go without lingering. When sadness comes, you embrace that bitterness completely. You are no longer the drowning person swallowed by the waves. You have become the ocean that contains all rivers. You observe the tides, knowing that the you who grasps and the object being grasped are one and the same, both empty in nature. At this point, you will realize that nothing has ever truly come into your life, and nothing has ever truly gone. You have never been separate from the world, so how can there be coming and going? A Zen master once said, before enlightenment, he chopped wood, carried water, and cooked. After enlightenment, he still chopped wood, carried water, and cooked. When asked what the difference was, he replied, before enlightenment, when I chopped wood, my mind was on carrying water. When I carried water, my mind was on cooking. After enlightenment, chopping wood is just chopping wood. Carrying water is just carrying water, and cooking is just cooking. This is how the wisdom of dependent origination and emptiness finally lands in reality. It does not grant you superpowers. It simply allows you to wake up completely from the restless, apprehensive dream of the small ego. After waking, the mountains are still green, and the waters are still clear, but you are no longer the prisoner. When you eat, you feel the sweetness and nourishment of every grain of rice. That is the most sincere gratitude toward dependent origination. When you walk, you feel the contact of your soles with the earth. That is the most tranquil communion with emptiness. Now, let us return to the original question. Why have you come here? And what is it that you seek? Perhaps the true answer is to seek nothing. For when you truly let go of the gesture of reaching outward, you will suddenly realize you have never lost anything. The entire universe, one mind in the Dharma realm, is inherently complete and perfect.